Yo, what up everybody? It's me, your girl Adge. If you are watching this, that means that you have visited our website and you're checking it out and you're interested in doing some yoga. So thank you so much for joining, for checking out our website, for being here, for all the support that everybody provides to us and just following our journey. It's much appreciated. So we're going to do a little bit of yoga today. We're going to start off pretty slow. Just going to go over the basics and talk about the props and things that can help if you feel uncomfortable with the posture. One thing that I find is that yoga can be intimidating to a lot of people. One thing I hear a lot is, I can't do yoga. Yoga is not for me, or, this, that, and the other. And it is for everybody. As long as you can breathe, you can definitely do yoga. So, I've had people in my classes, all walks of life, paraplegic, the list goes on and on. So really the main goal here is just to focus on that breath, set some intention, use the breath for calming, use the breath to be in the present moment, and just provide some self-care and self-love. So we'll go ahead and get started. Items that I do want to share today are just some things that you can use to get started if you are beginning your practice, things that can be helpful, such as props. Props are things that you can stick in places wherever you feel the most strain. So maybe, behind your thigh or behind your knee or, behind your lower back, wherever you feel the most strain, you're going to definitely want to use some of these props. So one that I have today is a yoga block. Again, this is something that can be slid under your knee. It just helps you sit and settle into that posture a little bit more, provides that support, just allows you to hold on to that posture a little longer. The next item is a yoga strap. Again, this can also help amplify some postures, but it does provide support as well if you want to gauge how far your leg is swinging over to the left or the right. So we can definitely get into that, or if you have any questions ever and are just starting your yoga journey, please don't hesitate to reach out. I got you. Another item that I like to have on hand is a blanket. The blanket's good for a couple of things. It acts as a bolster, which is something that you can also use as support. You can sit on it, you can roll it up, put it under your low back, behind your knees. Again, it's just a tool for support. The other thing that I like to do with the blanket at the end of class is in Shavasana, cover myself, just chill out, relax, zone out, let my mind wander and just kind of take 5 for a second. So, last thing, of course, is the yoga mat. So you don't have to have a yoga mat. You can do some groundwork and do yoga at a park on some grass or some dirt, or in your home on your carpet, tile, wood floor, whatever it is. You can do yoga in a chair. You can do yoga. So I just want to promote that. So the other thing that I want to throw out there is just to allow any emotion that comes up in your postures, in the process, in the flow. Any emotions that come up, just let them come up to the surface, and then exhale, release whatever you want to get rid of. So the focus for today is going to be inhaling whatever it is that you desire, and exhale anything that no longer serves you. And I think that's a good start. That's a good manifestation for our very first class and just getting started. So again, thank you so much for being here, and we'll go ahead and get started. So I just want everyone to take a second and sit with your legs crossed and just close your eyes. Drop the shoulders away from the ears, close your eyes. You can rest your palms on your knees. You can put your hands out, open palms is for receiving, down is for giving back. And then just close your eyes, take a couple deep breaths, 20, 30 breaths, 15 breaths. And then start to slow down the breathing. Slowing down the breathing is definitely going to help center yourself. Some of us may have gotten out of work, may have just cooked dinner, running around with the kids, maybe you homeschooled, whatever the case may be. We just want to slow down those thoughts and bring ourselves to the present moment. So close your eyes, drop the shoulders away from the ears, and begin to take some breaths. So inhale, deep in through the nose, and exhale out the nose. One more time, inhale and exhale. Continue to do this. One thing that you want to notice is your breathing, and that exhale is coming from the back of your throat, and that's what you call the Ujjayi breath. One way to think of this breath is you're inhaling and you're pushing it out from the back of your throat. You're feeling your belly expand as you exhale. And on top of that, it kind of sounds like you're gonna talk like Yoda. I don't know, that's one way to put it. So like if you're gonna exhale that voice, you're gonna push it out from your throat. So continue the breathing, deep breaths in and out, slow down the breathing. If you think you're going pretty slow now, slow it down a little bit more. Another thing that I like to do is inhale to the count of 5, 6, 7, or 8. Hold it at the top of your breath for that same count, and then exhale and for that same count. And then every single time that you have to do that process, then I'll increase the count again. So if I started with 5, then the next time I inhale, it's going to be 6. Hold at the top for 6 seconds. Exhale for 6 seconds. Next time, 7 seconds. Inhale, hold for 7, exhale for 7. So I hope that you're continuing your breathing as I'm talking. It's perfectly fine to kind of channel out my talking and just take this moment to center your thoughts. So again, continue with those deep breaths. We'll do about 3 to 5 more. And on your last few breaths, just begin to set an intention for today's class. What brings you here? Maybe you want to dedicate this class to yourself or to a loved one or to someone who can't be here. Maybe you want to set a goal or manifest a goal. So begin to think about that. Inhale and exhale, set that intention. Good. Last one, deep inhale and exhale. Good. So go ahead and place both hands down on the floor or the mat. You're going to want to just bring those legs together. And our first posture is going to be a warrior pose or child's pose. So you're going to start on your mat, the back of your mat. Your big toes are going to touch, and then you're going to spread those knees as far as you can apart, preferably max distance. So once you do that, you're going to sit as far as you can. So this is where this block comes in handy. You're going to sit on the heels of your feet with your toes touching. Now, if this is too hard, you just slide that block underneath. From there, you're going to go ahead and put your hands on the mat, and then walk your hands all the way to the top of the mat. Resting that forehead on the mat. You're going to want to drop the belly, and you're going to rest that forehead on the mat. And gently roll your forehead from left to right, side to side. Again, focus on the breathing. Listen to your breathing. Pay attention to your belly rising and falling with every breath that you take. And just allow yourself to appreciate this small moment of time where this is all that you should be doing. Nobody needs anything from you right now. The outside world is completely shut off to this moment. So just take that time, let that soak in, and really enjoy your practice. So I hope that you're still in that posture. Roll that forehead from left to right a couple times. You want to melt your shoulders, your armpits into the mat, and you're resting your chest on your mat. A couple more breaths here. Good. On that next inhale, you're going to lift up, and you're going to come into what we call a tabletop position. So tabletop position, you want to make sure that your shoulders are in line with your wrists. They don't go over or behind. Your knees are 2 fist distance apart. So you're going to want to just take 2 fists right between the knees. That's fist distance. Okay, so tabletop, back is flat, tops of the feet on your mat. We're going to do some cat-cow series here. So on your inhale, you're going to drop your belly and then take your eye gaze up towards the ceiling. And from there, you're going to tuck your chin into your chest, suck your belly button into your spine, round your spine, coming into your cat. And that's your exhale. Inhale, eye gaze goes up towards the ceiling, belly drops. And exhale, chin to chest, belly to spine, round your back. So do this a few times at your own pace, whatever feels good to you today. You can stop and have a flat back and eye gaze over your right shoulder, over the left shoulder, whatever feels good. So go ahead and do this a few more times at your own pace, going as fast or slow as you need. Always remember that there are modifications and amplifications for everything that you do. So it's perfectly fine to always come back to that. You can always drop down to your knees. You can always drop down to your back. Anytime you feel out of breath, just take it back down and take a couple breaths. So a couple more breaths here in your cat-cow. Good. Perfect. And from here, we're going to be in a neutral spine position, flat back. Go ahead and take that right leg and extend it out behind you. Drop that right hip so your hip is level. And you're going to point and flex your toe. Just point, flex, point, flex. Do some ankle rotations, in and out, to the left, to the right. Hold it here. Now you can stay here, or you can take that left hand and extend it out in front of you. Remember that your shoulder should be right in line with that wrist. Left hand extends, and you're pulling yourself in opposite direction. Tightening the core, and release. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So inhale, left leg comes up, drop that left hip, flat back, point and flex, and then do some ankle rotations, in and out. If you're feeling froggy, go ahead and extend that right arm out in front of you, hold it, and release. Good. Coming into your cat-cow. The next thing that we're going to do is a downward facing dog. So downward facing dog, you're making a V shape with your body. So from tabletop position, now again, you can stay here. Tabletop is the modification for downward facing dog. So if you get up there and it's too much, take it back down. Listen to your body. One day you might be super flexible and handling it and doing what you got to do. The next day you might wake up and things are a little bit not moving like they should, and that's okay too. Much like the seasons, much like our lives, everything changes day to day, minute by minute, hour by hour. So downward facing dog, from tabletop, you're going to curl those toes and you're going to lift your tail, making a V shape with your body. Feet are going to be 2 fist distance. You can point your toes in or not. Your hands are spread wide like starfish, and you're making an L shape with your pointer and thumb fingers. Your eye gaze is at your shins, and you're melting your chest towards your knees, towards the mat. And from here, you're going to inhale and exhale. Do this a few times. Good. Last one. On your next inhale, lift that right leg up. Don't have to go very high. Hold it here. And then bring that right leg through, coming into your lunge. Now you can come down to your knees for a low lunge. Perfectly fine. Or you can curl those back legs and come up for a high lunge. So same idea here, your knee does not want to go over the ankle. You're going to inhale, hands come up overhead, drop the shoulders away from the ears, lift that back knee and sit more into your hips. Hold it here. Hands come down to the mat, right leg kicks back, downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. When you're ready, left leg lifts. Bend that knee, slowly bring it through, coming into your low lunge. So if you don't amplify and you stay on your knee, you just want to look like this. Inhale, hands come up. Drop the shoulders. And breathe. Inhale, hands come down. Lift that back leg. Kick that left leg back up. And drop it down, downward facing dog. Good. Walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. And just allow yourself to hang heavy here. Take a couple of breaths. You can grab opposite elbows. Eye gaze is at the shins. You can rock from left to right. And just relax. From here, drop your hands down to the mat and you're going to gently roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time. Hands come to heart center. Close your eyes. Take a couple breaths. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And just come back to that breath and back to that intention. So whatever intention you set at the beginning of class, come back to that. Come back to your why. Hands are at heart center. Lift each one of your toes. Place each one down firmly into the mat. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and come into mountain pose. Palm of the hands are facing in front of you. So then from here, again, close those eyes and just feel yourself grounding and rooting into the earth. Lift the shoulders up to the ears and roll them behind you. Do this a few times. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is the full body pranayama. You're going to inhale, hands come up overhead. Eye gaze at your thumbs. Give yourself a slight back bend. And then exhale, swan dive forward. This is Charles, everybody. He likes to get in the way. You're in a forward fold here. So you should look like this. And it's okay if you don't look like this. Eye gaze is at the shins, and you're just going to walk it out. Bend your knees left and then right. High up on your toes, whatever feels good. Stretch it out. You're going to inhale with a half lift. So you're making a number 7 with your body. Flat back. Top of the head is stretching towards the wall in front of you. And exhale, release. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, hands come up. And exhale, swan dive down. We'll do it one swift motion. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, release. Reverse swan dive, hands come up. And exhale, swan dive forward. One more time, inhale. Bringing your hands back down to prayer position. We're going to go ahead and put in a few standing postures before we take it down to the mat. So the first one that we're going to do is your basic tree pose. Super easy. Hands are at heart center. Feet are touching. Take that right leg. Do a kickstand. You can stand here. Remember, in yoga, as long as you're in proper alignment, you will always receive all of the benefits for the posture. So it doesn't matter if you take your foot high over your head, as long as you remain in proper alignment, that's when those benefits happen, not when you're doing it for the ground. So you can rest your foot as a kickstand, place it between your ankle and knee, never directly on the knee. You can bring that heel to the inner thigh, or you can take that heel, tuck it into your hip crease. Whatever feels comfortable for you today. Remember, you'll want to do the same exact thing on the other side. Do that. Close your eyes if you can. And this is tree pose. Your hands can go out. They can stay in prayer position. You can exalt some branches, whatever feels good to you. If you fall out, it's okay. Get right back in. Drop that right leg down. Reverse swan dive, hands go up overhead, eye gaze at the ceiling. Exhale, hands back down to heart center. So same thing on the other side. Kickstand between your ankle and knee, inner thigh, or hip crease. Couple of breaths. Focus on grounding. Focus on maybe what you think a tree is like, or what it feels like to be so grounded and rooted into the earth. And release. Reverse swan dive, hands come up overhead, and exhale, fall forward. One more half lift, and exhale, release. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come back to our downward facing dog. And you're going to want to inhale, roll it forward, coming into a high plank. So you want to be completely level here. If you need to drop down to your knees, you can also do that. Hold it, tightening your core, your abs. Feels good. And now you're going to drop down, keeping your elbows tucked in. Chaturanga. Inhale, hands come up, upward facing dog. So you can amplify by lifting those thighs off the ground, walking your hands closer to the hips. Good. Curl those toes, lift the tail, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll it forward one more time, high plank, and gently lower yourself down. Resting that right or left ear on the mat, and just relaxing those arms to either side. So this is where we start to get comfy. Laying down, you can lift your left or right knee. Just start to relax for just a moment. Also, if you have water, feel free to take a water break at any time. Also, very important to have. So keep those eyes closed, resting on your belly. And just begin to wind down and think about maybe how you felt before this class started. To where you feel now. Take all that in. I do apologize for the background noise. I live with boys. My child is screaming at his PlayStation, and my husband just walks in and out of the house. Couple of breaths. And now from here, gently bring yourself up, and you're going to want to lie on your back. So from here, just lie flat on your back. And this is where the straps can come in handy. You're going to want to bring that right knee into the chest.
Interlace those fingers at the shin, right knee into the chest, left leg is just out, toes are flexed. And then you're going to want to take this right knee and shift it over to the right. Get my book. So again, this is what you can use the block for if you can't get your knee to the floor. You're going to airplane those wings, arms out like airplane wings, and you're going to take that right knee and you can rest it on the block or the floor. So whatever feels good. Inhale, lift up and relax. Right knee comes down, left knee bends, fingers interlace with the shins, bring that knee into the chest. Same thing on the other side. Take that left knee over to the right, airplane wing those arms. Eye gaze is going to be over your left shoulder. Modify and use props as needed. And then inhale, bring it back to center. Bring both knees together. Give yourself a great big hug. Gently rock from side to side, left to right. And then release. Inhale, that right leg comes up. Hold it here. So you can use the strap for this. And you don't have to. So from here, you're going to take that right leg over to the left and feel that stretch. Inhale, hands come up. Feet come up. And switch it out. Good. Left leg lifts. And release. Coming into our final resting posture, Shavasana, which is the best, and also a very, very hard posture for most, because this is where you begin to start to think of what you need to do when you get out of here, or what happened earlier today, or any of those crazy thoughts that all come into all of our heads. So feet are mats distance apart, toes are falling out to either side, hands are palms up or palms down, but spread out. Relax the neck, relax the jaw, relax the shoulders. You can move those shoulder blades closer together if that feels good. And just allow yourself to lay heavy. Close your eyes and begin to allow yourself to receive all of the benefits from today's practice. You should take about 10 to 20, 30 breaths to seal your practice. Again, inhaling and exhaling, listening very closely to the sound of your breath, the rise and fall of your belly. Coming back to that intention, being grateful that our bodies showed up and can do this, and even just the breathing. I know it's been a crazy year and we've all been facing challenges, so if there's one thing that you can do is just recenter those thoughts and just try and give out those positive vibes. Energy goes where the intention flows, so wherever your thoughts are is definitely where that energy is going to follow. So if you wake up and you're having a bad day, that might set the tone. But if you can shift those thoughts to a more positive place, it just definitely makes a difference. So I'd like to thank everyone for being here today, joining, showing up for you, again, for just being a part of W.E.E.D, the loud crowd. We're super grateful. There's definitely more of this to come. I just wanted to get a little something out there. Let's do it. So with all the love in my heart, please continue to take a couple breaths before you get up. And we'll be in touch with all the love in my heart. Thank you and namaste.